So what is next? Well, today I got another deck profile for you guys using the OG Super Saiyan Sun God Son Goku, the Soul Striker from this original starter deck that first came out. This is going to be utilizing a few of the cards from the anniversary set that's going to be coming out in just under a week. I'm really excited to be playing this old school leader again, but as we all know, this guy is susceptible to Borgos, Whis, Vakus, even Tien, the great almighty Tien, who can really shut this deck down. But hopefully they're not making that game best of one, and then best of three. You guys can just side out and just figure out what you guys need. I haven't developed a side deck yet for this deck, just because I haven't had a chance to actually play it in like real life or test play it against a lot of the meta decks like the Brawly GTs, the Janimbas, and then also like the Hider Mastery plays and things like that. But what a lot of the newer supports, like I know there's a lot of anniversary stuff that's gonna be coming out, or even the power booster stuff that's going to be coming out for the World Martial Arts tournament stuff, that really helps against like Hider Mastery and also a lot of those other meta decks out there. But getting right into it, if you didn't know what the leader does, it does have a nice auto in the front side that lets you untap one blue energy. So it does have to be blue, so that's why we're running mostly blue here with a little bit of splash of yellow because we have the multicolors. But so when this card attacks, you untap one blue energy and switch it to active mode. And then on his awakened side, you draw two, so it's not the untap because in the olden days, basically, when the game started, it was all about draw power, not necessarily pushing yourself to the max with your extended plays and things like that. So you draw two cards, and it has a permanent. When you have 5 or more energy, this card gains 5,000 attack power for duration of turn. And then, but it has to be during your turn, obviously. And then it has an auto now. Instead of untapping one, when this card attacks, you draw one card, which is always good. You untap two blue energies, so it goes from 1 to 2, so you can really extend your plays. So for our Self-Awakeners, since we don't awaken ourselves, this is not one of those leaders, we do have Awakening Talent Pan here. And then what's really good about Awakening Talent Pan is the fact that, you know, not only does she self-awakens it, because her auto is when this card attacks, you take one card from your life, and this card gains 10,000 attack power, so essentially is a 15k beater, which is really good. But at the end of the turn, it goes right back to your hand, so you can actually recycle it. You don't have to let it die the next turn or try to protect it, because it's only 5k attack power originally. And then we're going into 4 Dende Astute Savior. This card is really good because it gets our key components. I was debating on running like Planet Vegeta as well, but then I realized this card is way better because not only does it do more than Planet Vegeta for our deck, because Planet Vegeta basically lets you search out any 4 or less Saiyans, so it will allow us to search our Awakening Talent Pans, our Kind Heart Saiyan Son Gokus, our Awkward Situation Trunks, Unyieldings, and things like that. But I was thinking, I was like, well, what cards do we really want to do? Like, why use Dende to search for a searcher like High Saiyan and things like that? Or not Dende, Planet Vegeta to search for another searcher. Instead, what we want to do, since Awakening Talent Pan is World Tournament, Dende can search for Awakening Talent Pan, Awkward Situation Trunks, Awkward Situation, it's got a combo piece and things like that, and it's like, that's what we want to do. We want to make sure we get those guys, because that's how we're going to get our plays. So if you didn't know what this card does, when you play this card, you choose up to one World Tournament card with an energy cost of 5 or less, so that's really good. Then send it to your warp and then shuffle your deck. Then after starting your next turn, you add that card you sent to your warp to your hand. So if you play this turn 1, then you can actually attack with your leader, or you can basically find whatever piece you need, Awkward Situation Trunk or Awkward Situation Octokosuski, then add it to your hand. And then you can swing with your leader, or if it's not, you know, obviously if you went first, then you can't do that. But then the next turn, you can put that back to your hand, put the Awkward Situation Trunk, play the Awkward Situation Trunk, swing with your leader, untap 1, then play a Awakening Talent Pan. Or if you're really boss about it, you can actually, say you went turn 2, or say you went second, you can play Dende, swing with your lead, and play another Dende to get both those pieces. Now you only need 2 more pieces to complete your whole set. That's really good too. Okay, so then we're playing 2 Kind Saiyan Son Goku. These are searches to get all our Son Gokus that we really need in our deck, because we don't have any way to get those to our hand, or cheat those ways to our hand. So if you didn't know what this card does, it's from set 1. When you play this card, you can look up the top 7 cards from your deck and choose up to 1 blue Son Goku from your deck and add it to your, or choose 1 Son Goku from those and then add it to your hand. So it has to be a blue, so we are playing blue, so that's really good. Then we have Awkward Situation Trunks. So we don't really care about its activate main, because you have to have a World Martial Arts leader. So we really only care about the fact that he's a 2-drop and he's a 15k beater, and that's it. Then we're going to move on to Unyielding Spirit Trunks. It's a really good card for any blue leader, because during your turn, when you combo with this card, you can choose one of your energies and switch to active mode. So if you're all tapped out, just play this guy. Now you got one active energy. So the reason why we play Awkward Situation Trunks is because we play this guy, Awkward Situation Tosuki, and he's really good because they have a permanent. Is if Awkward Situation Trunks is in play, and then Awkward Situation Tosuki is not in play, then you can play this guy without paying its energy cost. So you could essentially get him out for free. So you can actually hard cast another one if you wanted to, but you can't because you can't use its permanent gift for free. But that's really good because like since it's a 4 cost, we can cheat our Goku path to infinite for free, and it's really good. It's a really good combo. So he's another 15k beater, but 4 cost is really why we use him. So we play that Awkward Situation Trunks for 2, and then we just play our 4 cost for free. Then we're playing our multi-yellow cards. We got our Bojack and our Janibas. They do have like a rival, and they do have the Aegis combos as well. We don't really play for that, but it's always good to go over that just in case you need it. So a Bojack is going to be a blocker with our rival. Pay 1 yellow, and then if you have a blue or yellow, blue/yellow card, blue and yellow cards in your combo area, you can play this card for 1 yellow. And then auto is when you play this card, you can tap one of your opponent's battle cards, no restriction except for barrier, and put it in rest mode, and your opponent does have to mill 1 card. But it does have energy exhaust, so it does go into tap or rest mode when you play it or put in your energy. But that's why we're running that our leader's ability. That way we can tap it and still have energy there going. Then our Janemba, it's going to have a barrier, which is really good, and it has Aegis. So if you pitch a blue and yellow card to the drop area, you can untap 2 energies. And then once you do that, your opponent has to mill 1 card if there's no other evil incarnation Janemba in play. So those are just our multi-yellow cards, just so we can get our plays on with our splashy yellow. But then the heart of the card, we have the new card from the anniversary set, the 5 cost Son Goku Path to Infinite. It has an activate main for 1 blue, and if your leader card is blue, so your leader does have to be blue to use it, which I really like, so you can't abuse it in other decks. And you send 1 4 cost back to your hand, so that's where we're using an Awkward Situation Otosuki. But it's because we cheat it for free, but we can also use like the Janemba or the Bojack. I like to cheat out the Bojack first with that one, or not cheat out, but use their rival to get him 1 turn, stop my opponent, block it, and save the Bojack. And then if I don't have the combo pieces in my hand, or if I don't want to pay the 2 for Trunks, I just bounce that card back to my hand because it's a 4 cost. It's not 4 cost or higher, it does have to be a specific 4 cost. So you drop this guy, the 20k beater, but we're not using it for attack power, we're using it because it's a Son Goku and its injury is 5, because that means we can X evolve it for 2 blue energy and 1 card we'll put to the drop area. We have Ultra Instinct Science Son Goku. He's a 7 cost, but we're gonna pay him, like I said, X evolve him for 2 blue energy and pitch 1 card. Since we're running mostly blue, it's gonna be really easy to pull it off. And then the really good combo for this, since we evolved it over a Son Goku that's a 5 or higher, because that's that path to infinite Son Goku. He has triple strike and he has a permanent. Your opponent cannot combo during its battle. So it's like once you attack, your opponent does not negate it. It's going to go through 35k. You cannot stop it. There's a couple extra cards that give you like 15k boost and things like that, but it's almost impossible to get out of that attack. Just base power. Then its auto is when a card evolves into this card, you send all your opponent's battle cards back to your hand. This includes cards with barrier, so it doesn't choose any cards. It just sends them to your send them to your hand. So if they have Vegito or Deadly Defender on the field, they go straight to your hand. If they have blockers, straight to their hand. This card gets past everything. If they have Cold Bloodlust, we have something for that as well. So going to our another Self-Awakener and more yellow cards, we have Fearless Assault Krillin. This guy is just like all the intensified power and Trunks. When he attacks, you choose 1 card in your life, gains 10,000 power and critical for duration of turn. Just another added bonus to try to get out that Bojack, because we have the combo things, and if we don't want to combo like our multicolor cards, just because they cost 1k, they cost 1 energy to kind of combo those. We can combo the Fearless Assault Krillin and like the Awakened Talent Pan when we don't need them. Then just kind of for our push to make sure we get them down to 3. If they drop down to 4, we have that Mirror Creative Absorb. This card is really good because it has Deflect. You cannot stop it. You have to negate it to be able to stop it. And if they negate this, that means they won't negate the next attack, and that's really good that we have coming for them. So we have Mirror Creative Absorb. If you didn't know what he does, he's an overrun for a 4 for the cost of 1. That's really cheap for what we're going to get out of him. He has Deflect, so you can't stop it. It's going to come out. He also has an auto for his unit absorb, but we don't really care about that. So what we do really care about is that he gets out for 1 cost, and then when he attacks, he gains 5,000 attack power for every card in your overrealm. So this guy is going to be a really big beast stick. He's going to already be at 50k base with just 4 cards in your overrealm. So that's really what you want to do. Just put that pressure on your opponent for just 1 cost, and then if their opponent combos out of it, cool, that's great. That's more cards out of their hand. If they negate it, that's more cards we don't have to worry about. Then we're running the North Kai Keeping Watch for those guys because our super combo is 4 or less super combo because we really want to get to 4 or less life as fast as possible. We're running 4 Sensu Beans because it just makes sense. It lets us extend our plays even better. It's kind of like unyielding in situational. It can be better than unyielding because you can use it on your opponent's turn. And then we have Battering Laser. We're running 4 of these guys. I ran 2 and then I ran 3 and I decided no, you need 4 of these guys because this is the only counter. Is actually 1 more coming out in the next set or so, but it's the only counter that negates everything for so cheap in my mind because it can really put a finisher on the game. You attack with this, you attack with Ultra Saiyan, Instinct Sun Goku. They tried to counter it because they can't combo. They have to counter it. Then you use Battering Laser, and if they're not running yellow, there's no way they can stop that. You drop 1 yellow card. We're running right now 10 yellow cards. We have the 4 Bojacks, the 4 Genomos, and the 2 Krillins. So we have options, and then also 3 Batterings we can use. So that's going to be about 13 yellow cards. Because or excuse me, 12 because we do have to at least charge 1. So once we negate that, that attack is going through. We don't even have to combo. Typically I don't combo. I might put up that 40k just to make sure they don't have those 2 15k extra combos or extra cards that some of those like black leaders have, like the Oops have, or things like that, because they can use extra cards. They can use all their Senzu Beans and things like that, but most of the cards won't get them to that level. So that's really good. So that's pretty much the deck. The combos are really good. If you guys didn't see it, I got a couple of the videos posted up on of my games and matches. What you want to do is really get that awkward situation with Trunks on the field once you've already been awakened. Once he's on the field, you the battle area, you play that awkward situation. It's combo piece basically, and then you bounce it back with 1 energy. You bounce it back for the Son Goku path to infinite, and once you do that, you play another awkward situation, Otsutsuki, because it's not on the field, so you can play, or the battle area, so you can play it for free again. And then you kind of keep swinging at them, just try to get them down to that 3 life. Your opponent's going to see that. They're going to try to combo out of it, but they combo their whole hand trying to save you. That's a plus on your side because you still have energy. So all that you just did for 3 energy, if you're really spamming out this play, you still have your leader's auto untap 2 more energy. So let's just say that you're all tapped out. You attack with your leader, you untap 2 more energies. Now you can play that Ultra Saiyan Son Goku as well. But make sure you have a Sensu Bean for that if you do attack or anything like that. Like, make sure you, like, it's always good to have 3 energy when you play that Ultra Saiyan Instinct Son Goku, just because you can use that Battering. So if you have 3 energy, you use that Sensu Bean, you use that Unyielding, or you did this play on turn 4. You essentially got out for about 5 energy, or at 6 energy at the end of the turn, or the end of the game, because your opponent untap, or your leader untaps 2. You're gonna have about 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks. Just because you have the awkward situation once, the awkward situation of Suzuki twice, and you have the Path Instinct Sun Goku, and then you also have the your leader as well. So that's going to be 5 attacks just for 6 energy in the end of the day. And then they're all going to go through mostly because of that Battering. So this is a deck I created. It's pretty good. I really like it. It's a really fun deck. I'm pretty sure there's other leaders that can probably play a little bit better and not be like subjected to like the Borgles, the Whis, and the Vecus, and the TNs that can play a little bit better. As you can see, I'm not playing any counters at all. It's just counters at all. It's just a big push. I can bring this out turn 3, and that's what I'm going for, because games typically end on turn 4, but a lot of these decks want to push you on turn 3. So like if I have like Brawler GTs or anything like that, then I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna really use my Bojack, or I'm gonna really use my Janebas or things like that. I'm gonna play around it when it's starting to get a little tougher to kind of beat my opponent, because that Brawler GT is really heavy, and they have the Shigesh plays and things like that. So I mean, those are things I'm concerned about too, because Shigesh does get around the Ultra Instinct, but Shigesh get around even Victory Strike. How do I stop it? There's no really way to do it. Just side in time Kondoa basically. But like I said, that's like best of 1 or best of 3 kind of matches. This deck is obviously not the absolute truth. It's not going to be every deck's now Super Shenron or anything like that. It can't just stop you just because it's what it's doing. There's ways to stop this deck as well. But just keep that aware. Create your side deck or change it a little bit just to fit your locals, your tournaments, and things like that. If most people are running that Shigesh, then you might want to main you might want to main its counterpart. You might want to switch it up. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys are new, please do subscribe. If you guys like the video, go ahead and like the video. And once again, I will definitely try to keep this deck updated. And when the new cards come out, I'm gonna probably change it up a little bit to kind of fix it up for the new meta that's gonna be coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you guys next time.